We come from different backgrounds, different races, and different countries. We're farmers, teachers, musicians, authors, janitors, scientists, actors, doctors, bus drivers, lawyers, and many other professions. Some of us are rich, some of us are poor, most of us come from middle-income families. We are male, we are female, we are very young to very old, and anywhere in between. We are totally different, yet we're very much alike. We suffer from EI, or environmental illness. Some of us have gotten sick from pesticides or other toxic chemicals. Most of us have gotten sick from mold mycotoxins. Environmental illness causes, among other things, immune system dysfunction and neurological damage, which can lead to MCS, multiple chemical sensitivity, and EMF, electromagnetic field sensitivity. In order to survive, we must live our lives in a totally abnormal way. We must avoid everyday normal exposures to chemicals and other toxins, and sometimes telephones, computers, televisions, or anything that emit EMF waves. We can become very sick from fabric softeners, smoke, diesel and petrochemical fumes, plastic fumes, perfumes, soap, just about anything that has any smell to it. If we do become exposed to things that make us sick, we can be sick for weeks afterward. As a result, we can't live normally. Most doctors do not understand EI or even know how to diagnose it, much less treat it. Many times families and friends do not understand the magnitude of this illness and how it affects every aspect of our lives. We're often labeled as crazy, hypochondriac, depressed, or we're told it's all in your head, even though the effects of exposures are physical, with blood testing even revealing changes in our blood after being exposed. Most of us have lost the physical ability to work and have spent all of our financial resources on doctors, medicines, and treatments in order to try and regain our health. Many of us can no longer afford the necessary medical care. Most of the time we're alone, not because we choose to be alone, but because that's the only way we can totally avoid getting sick. We are often misunderstood, abandoned, sometimes even persecuted or abused by families, co-workers, and friends who do not understand this illness. This video is dedicated to everyone like me who suffers from environmental illness. It's also a reminder to those of you who are healthy that we were all just like you before we got sick, living normal lives as you are now. It is my sincere hope that those of you who are sick will find strength and hope from watching this, and those of you who are not ill, that you will try to understand environmental illness and realize that what has happened to us could just as easily happen to you. Pay attention to what your body is being exposed to, and know that mycotoxins and other environmental toxins, including pesticides and fertilizers, can cause serious and chronic illness and even death. I asked mold and MCS victims to answer 2 questions, using only one statement for each question. The first question was, what is the worst thing about this illness? The second question, what is the best thing about this illness? Thank you to all who participated and answered these questions for me, and know that I pray for each and every one of you every day. And remember that nothing is impossible with God. Absolutely nothing.
I can't go anyplace, do anything, or have anyone at my house. I live in a bubble in order to survive.
It's the lack of understanding from other people. You look okay, so they think it's all in your head.
The pain that never goes away and gets incredibly worse with exposures.
Feeling like you're losing your mind because no one believes you when you describe how you feel, plus most of the illnesses you have for the rest of your life.
The financial ramifications. I am out of money from treatment and still sick with no way to pay for it.
My physical limitations. I used to be an athlete.
Not being able to finish school and go on to get my degree.
The fact that I have to live like a recluse when I don't want to.
I can't work anymore. I've lost everything. My job, my home, even my car.
Getting anyone to believe you and getting proper treatment.
Losing my medical practice due to not being able to perform plastic surgery anymore.
Trying to find the right treatment before you go broke or die.
pain. It's the pain.
The loneliness and feeling like you are so disconnected to the whole world.
I can't see my parents anymore. I miss them so much.
Trying to find a doctor who can help me.
Nobody understands.
The worst thing about this illness is the lack of love, understanding, and support from my husband.
How it's so hard to find the right medical help.
This illness robs you of your health, your life.
I can't go to church anymore, and I've gone my whole life. It makes me so sad.
I can't hold my only grandson on my lap, but Downy, his mom uses, makes me too sick.
My wife's lack of understanding.
Look at you like you're crazy when you ask them to not wear anything smelly around you.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy. They don't believe I'm sick.
The worst thing is what it does to my brain. The agitation, the memory loss, the depression, the dizziness, the lack of concentration, and brain fog. I can't believe what it did to my brain.
How all the doctors treated me before I found out what was wrong with me.
Lack of understanding from others, particularly those closest to you.
Losing all of my friends, no one is there for me. I have no support at all.
Everyone's always thinking I'm crazy, when all it is, really, is that I'm sick.
The testing, the medications, the doctors, and all the money it all costs, I can't afford it anymore.
I had to get rid of all my pets.
The lack of understanding, with rejection by my family, friends, and strangers who don't understand the realities.
My social life is gone.
Your whole life is going by without you in it.
It's a vicious hazing ritual for entrance into sainthood.
I even wear a mask everywhere I go, and everyone's staring at me because of it.
Getting sick for days afterwards. Even a trip to Walmart knocks me out.
When ill from exposures, it's the suffocating feeling. When doing okay, it's the knowledge that you may be sick again at any moment, so you never really feel safe.
Feeling like I don't belong anywhere.
The thing about this illness is finding out what it is, what's happened to you, the breakthrough about what biohazards are, and how a host human being begins to develop a group of disgusting cultures and sicknesses which make a person feel destroyed and completely worthless in the real world. When you realize that you've ruined your life by breathing these biotoxins in, nothing anyone says can really help you deal with the reality about it. I feel alone, sick, no money, no hope. I can't fix the problem. No one to give me the care that I need, and this deflating sense of self-worth.
As a physician who has treated mold myotoxin-related illnesses for over 10 years, here are the worst things. Number 1. No one knows what will happen a few years after the exposure and subsequent illness. The effects of mycotoxins and carcinogenic agents have been well established for decades, but no one knows who may get cancer later on down the road and who may not. Number 2. This illness causes strife within families as people struggle with what to do with their home, medical care, and bring on a huge financial burden that can cause divorce, alienation, etc. 3. The neurologic effects are vast and understudied. Molds and mycotoxins affect the brain much more than is realized. The best thing about this is that people are becoming more and more aware of the health effects of mold mycotoxins, and therefore should be a decline of people being affected as they come to realize their home work is what is making them ill.
The best thing about this illness is that I've become closer to God.
I now look forward to dying and not even to deal with the suffering and all the disbelievers of this illness.
I found out what really matters in life. God, love, family.
All my life I thought I was pretty secure in myself, and thought of myself as a really good person. But this illness has given me much time to look at my life a lot closer. And now I see so many places I could have been kinder, gentler, more loving, more present, more forgiving. And I can't be the same person again. And that is beautiful to me.
finding out who and what really matters in your life and who and what doesn't.
I'm a mold expert now.
I'm able to help others who are sick like me.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I put my faith, hope, and trust in God alone. He alone is my help. He alone is my healer.
Gaining the knowledge of what mold does to a human so that you can help others not end up sick like yourself. That's the best thing.
I found Jesus and he found me.
I now know who my true friends are. Besides believing me and helping me, they offer compassion because they understand we all suffer and rejoice together, and not pity, which is a looking down upon another state of mind.
The illness has made me realize that it's okay to ask for and receive help, and to thank God every day that I have my loving family and true friends to support me.
I praise God in the storm, and I could never do that before.
It's brought me closer to God.
Being able to help others and deal with this illness.
I read my Bible more now, every day.
I pray more now. I pray better now.
I treat people better. I love them and appreciate them more than I ever did before.
I know God's in control, even of my health.
It made me realize how I should have been thankful for my health while I had it. Now I'm thankful for so much more than I used to be thankful for.
This mold experience has brought me closer to the Lord in a way that perhaps nothing else could have, and do not have the fear that I once had. I know that is two things, but they go together for me. I am healing. It is possible. Praise God, it is possible.
This mold experience has brought me closer to the Lord in a way that perhaps nothing else could have. I do not have the fear that I once had. I know that it is two things, but they go together for me. I am healing. It is possible. Praise God, it is possible.
To the one whose dreams have fallen all apart, and all you're left with is a tired and broken heart. I can tell by your eyes you think you're on your own, but you're not alone. Have you heard of the one who can calm the raging sea? Give sight to the blind, pull the lame up to their feet. With a love so strong and never let you go. No, you're not alone. You will be safe in His arms. You will be safe in His arms. 'Cause the hands that hold the world are holding your heart. This is the promise He made. He will be with you always. When everything is falling apart, you will be safe in His arms. Did you know that the voice that brings the dead to life is the very same voice that calls you now to rise?